All right, the directions for this section say to write an equation of a line with the following characteristics. Okay, so it's perpendicular to this equation and has a y-intercept of 3. If it's perpendicular to this equation, then it's going to have an opposite reciprocal slope. So this slope is 2 over 1, positive 2 over 1. So the opposite reciprocal of positive 2 over 1 is negative 1 over 2. And they're telling us that the y-intercept is 3. So I know my m, I know my b. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus b. These lines would be perpendicular, and this line would have a y-intercept of 3. All right, let's look at number 5. We're going to write the equation of a line that is parallel to this equation. If it's parallel to this equation, then we know that the slopes are going to be the same. So I could write the equation y equals 5x plus 1. I could write the equation y equals 5x minus 3. Okay? I could really use any b value that I wanted except for the number 3. Okay, the reason why I couldn't use the number 3 is because these lines would no longer be parallel, they would be coincidental. Okay, so really pick any b value except for 3, make sure the slopes are the same, and that would work. All right, number 6, it says find each equation that is parallel to the given line, so here's our given line, and passes through the given point. If it's going to be parallel to the given line, then we know the slopes are going to be the same. So let's start with identifying the slope of the given line. Now you need to use whole numbers when identifying the slope. So that looks like it's hitting at a whole number. That looks like it's hitting at a whole number. Looks like we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we went up 8 and over 1, 2, 3. Up 8 over 3. That means our slope is going to be the same. And what I could do is I could just count up 8. So 8 and over 1, 2, 3. And this would be our equation. Our line. Now, and as far as finding the equation, we need to know m and we need to know b. Right now, it looks like the only value that we know for sure is the m value, so I'll plug that in. Now, I don't know if this b value is hitting at a whole number, and if I don't think it's hitting at a whole number, then I'm not going to be able to just look at the graph to determine it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in an xy coordinate that this line actually goes through, and then solve for b. So we were given this dot right here. This dot is 1, negative 2. So let's plug in the y. Let's plug in our x. And then let's solve for b. 1 times 8/3 is just 8/3. And I'm going to have to subtract 8/3 to the other side. Well, you can use your calculator to help you with this process. Negative 2 minus parentheses 8/3. Looks like we're getting that number, and I'm going to convert it just to a fraction so I don't have to round it. Looks like that's negative 14/3. Okay, therefore the final equation is going to be this right here. All right, let's go to the next one. A line that is perpendicular to the given line and passes through the given point. Okay, so again, if it's going to be perpendicular, we're going to need to know the slope and then find the opposite reciprocal. So let's find whole numbers to work with. Looks like we're going to go up 1, 2, 3. And I'm going back 2. So that's going to be a negative slope. That means that the line that's perpendicular to this is going to have a slope of positive 2/3 because these are opposite reciprocals. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this point right here that we know it's going through, and I'm going to build my slope off of that. So I'm going to go up 2 over 3. Up 2 over, up 2. Okay, and when I graph that, it does actually look perpendicular, so I feel a little more confident that it looks like that's a right angle. Okay, the last thing we need to do is we need to find y equals mx plus b. Well, I know that my m value is 2/3, so we can plug that in. The b value, we want to know if that's hitting at a whole number or not hitting at a whole number. Just to double check, I'm going to plug in the point that we were given. We were given -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5, -2. Okay, so if I plug that in, and I start to simplify, okay, 2/3 times -5 is -10/3. So I'm going to add 10/3 to the other side. Again, you can let your calculator help you with this one. I can say, all right, -2 plus parentheses 10 divided by 3. Okay, the one thing I'm going to say is just make sure you're putting those fractions in parentheses. Oops. Hold on, let me try that one more time. There we go. That's going to be 4/3 equals b. That means our final equation is y equals 2/3 x plus 4/3.